Good day, sir. Today I will be demonstrating my code on the InClass Activity 4 data visualization. So let's go ahead on Google Colab. So on the first problem here we have, say, create a 2x2 subplot to the following functions. Label the axis completely. Include a title and a legend. Change the nature and color of the line. Put a grid line and you choose your starting and ending value of x. So here in number one, we are already given the x and y values. So we're going to plot this in a bar graph, scatter, and line plot in one axis. One axis, I'll explain that later. So here, as you can see here, first we have to import the matplot library as plt, and then create an array, the list of x and y values. And then here we have plot bar, is meaning it will plot in a bar graph. So here the position of x and y. So the width here is 0.8, though we can also change this to 0.5 there, but the default is 0.8 as you described, and the color is orange, so color is equal to orange. And then plt title comes along, so the title here would be bar graph, since it is a bar graph, and the label of the x and y axis here, and plt grid, and plt show, meaning it will show the diagram, though the diagram would still be shown even though if it plt.show isn't there, though as you said in your video, plt.show must always be the last code for this practice. So here the bar graph would look like this if we plot the following functions, the following values of x and y. So the same goes here, except that we have to change plt.bar to plt.scatter, since this is a scatter graph, and the color is green, and the title scatter, x and y axis labels, and the grid and show. So they're still the same. Here on the third one, so same values, same x and y values, though we have this double dash O, which means it will plot with broken lines and a dots where the values are plotted. So it would look like this. So the color is set to violet, and this is the diagram. Here on the fourth one, I made this just to show that we could also make this broken line as a single line. So here it's still the same, plt.plot, because this is a line plot, so we will use plt.plot x and y, and a single dash and O for a straight line, and dots where the values are plotted. So same goes, title, line plot, x and y labels, grid, and plt show. Though on the problem here, it is said that we have to create a 2x2 subplot, meaning a 2x2 subplot. So here we have a subplot. I made a subplot. So first we have to import a matplot library as plt, and plt subplot here, wherein this is the rows, columns, and position. So since it's 2x2, I'd like to have it in 2 rows and 2 columns, so it would look like this, 2x2, and plt.bar, except that above here we set here our array, and in the subplot here we can also use this, though I preferred to put the x and y values here on the x and y position of the variables and set its color, and plt.x label, plt.grid, and I didn't put plt.show because it's a kind of a loop that will show the entire graph, and it would not be a 2x2, except that it would be a straight line. So if we put plt.show here on 4 of these, it would look like this. So it's not 2 by 2 anymore. It's in order, 1 2 3 4, just like here. Position 1, position 2, position 3, and position 4. Though the code is still the same as this, except that we are using a subplot, and we are determining their rows, columns, and position. So here I prefer not to put plt.show, since in the problem it said 2 by 2. So 2 by 2 looks like this, though it is not clearly represented the title and the axis here. It's kind of mixed. So that's it for the diagrams, first 4 diagrams. Next here we have number 2, plot the multiple we have to plot the multiple functions y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 5 and y equals x squared minus 2x plus 1 in one axis. So in one axis, meaning we have to plot it in a single axis. So here we have to import the matplot library as plt and import numpy as np, since we have to make a np line linspace which will determine the starting and ending value of x. So here we have to plot the functions y equals x cubed minus 3x plus 2 plus x minus 5. So here it is, and I set the color to green, so it can be coded to color equals G or green. You could always you can also use this G or double dash R, meaning red, green. So I label the first function y1 and y2, and the title would be multiple functions 1, x and y axis, plt legend. This will show the legend of y1 and y2, which is to show which is which, and plt.show. So that's it. It would look like this. Nothing much. The same goes here, except that we have to use sine and cosine. Says here multiple functions y equals sine x and y equals cosecant x in one axis. So actually cosecant is equal to 1 over sine x. So here, since numpy has no cosecant function, so I made it 1 over cosine x, so it's still the same though. That's it. And we have to put the title multiple functions. Oh, should be plot multiple functions 2 or plot, sorry for that. And it's still the same, x and y label, the legend, the grid, and plt show. So it would look like this. Still the same though. So if we continue in the last part, so same goes at the top. Set our x and y starting and ending, so start at 0 and at 5. And pltx, np exponent, meaning here multiple functions y equals exponent, we have 2x multiplied by sine x, 2x, and y squared. I think this is y squared or y2. Though I'm not sure, though I'll explain it a bit later. Exponent negative 2x times cosine x over 2 in one axis. So here we plotted the functions here, np exponent 2x, np sine 2 times x, sine 2x there, and here np square root, though it is, I can't really I mean I'm a bit confused here, because this can be y2 or y squared, because it isn't raised to an exponent, though we'll try both options here. So np squared, np exponent negative 2x, and np cosine x over 2 in one axis. So it would look like this. Here we plot the x and y label, put the x and y label there, the legend, the grid, and PLT show. Though if it isn't squared though, if it's in y over it, if it's y2, it would look like this. So here, no square root, only the function, plotted the function in one axis. Though if it's in square root, it would look like this. So that's it for this activity 4. My learning experiences in this activity is that I learned how to plot in multiple functions, how to use subplots, and plot multiple functions in one axis. And I think it's a bit easy. It's easy if you understand well, though of course you have to still observe and understand it more clearly, so that I can I don't know, I can make more complex codes later on. So that's basically it, and thank you for watching.